You can accomplish your goals by starting small, powerful habits. That's why in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the power of a small habit, and I'm going to give you 2 habits that you can apply to your life right now. Now, these 2 habits I've applied in my own life, and they really have resulted in positive outcomes for me. And I really believe it can do the same for you. So be sure to stick around for the entire episode to hear about 2 habits that'll really put you in position to accomplish your goals. Now, starting new habits can seem scary, can even feel scary. But what's even scarier is not making any changes and staying the same, which is just going to result in you not seeing any changes in your life. And the truth about starting new habits is it just starts with one decision. So let's do it. What's up? Welcome to the Dream Lifestyle Podcast, where the purpose and mission is to help you find your how to your biggest goals. My name is Trevon Gross Jr., and I'm excited to have you here because you matter, your dream matters, and I believe in you. I believe in your dream, and it's going to happen as long as you have small, powerful habits. And I want to start off this episode just by giving a working definition of what small, powerful habits are. All right. Now, a small, powerful habit, working definition is my own definition, is they are minimal actions that increase levels of personal being. Minimal actions that increase levels of personal being. And I'll break this definition down kind of piece by piece, and I'll start with minimal actions. And so I want to start here because there's this misconception about habits that they need to be like these major earth-shaking, schedule-changing, life-shifting type of action steps. And that's not really true, because if you try to make those types of changes in your own life, you really are just going to lead yourself to frustration because it's too much. It's just not realistic. It's not going to make the habit effective. It's not even going to make the habit enjoyable, because at the end of the day, you do want your emotions to be connected to this habit, and you're going to need to make sure you have positive emotions towards the habit, so that way you can actually reap all the benefits that the habit can give you, right? But if you try to do too much within the habit, you're just going to set yourself up where you're less likely to be consistent because you're doing too much with the habit, right? For example, if you're somebody that right now you don't go to the gym at all, right? It's just not in your everyday schedule. It's not in your schedule. You want to go to the gym, you should go to the gym, but it's just not happening right now, right? Basically, breaking that habit down of going to the gym, if you were to say, well, starting on Monday, I'm going to, go to the gym 5 days a week. Every single day I'm going to the gym. The only thing that's going to result from you trying that is being frustrated. That's it, right? And you may start off well. You may go 2 days a week, but after that, you aren't going to go, just because that's taking on more than what you can handle right now. Like, for where your level of being is today, as someone in the example that doesn't go to the gym at all of a sudden committing yourself to 5 days a week is going to be too much. Your body isn't going to be able to handle it. Mentally, you aren't going to be able to handle it. And again, emotionally, you're just going to end up frustrated. Now, in terms of making a minimal action, it's basically about taking that habit. It's about taking that habit that you should be doing and basically breaking it down to its smallest common denominator, which would be to only go 1 day a week, right? If I were to continue using the example, if you're someone that never goes to the gym, a minimal action step for that person would be just go 1 day a week and show up for yourself 1 day a week and just see how it goes. Put in a really good workout 1 day a week. And then basically from there, you're establishing a baseline of the habit that will allow you to grow into the habit. It will increase your level of being, okay, just by going 1 day a week. And again, it's all about minimal actions, right? If I were to use an example of finances, if you have a certain amount or a certain percentage that you save from your check, right? You can, rather than just saying, oh, I'm just going to save an extra 20-30% than I usually do from my check, that might be too much than what you're able to handle, than what you're used to, because that's a major change. It's a major change, right? But if you just say, hey, I'm just going to put an extra, 2%, 5%, whatever it is, towards my savings, as opposed to, the money I may use to go buy a Chipotle bowl or something like that, that is a minimal action that can lead to great success. All right. But it's a very minimal action. And that's what that's where the power of the habit really comes from, because it doesn't need to be anything big, but it's something that you do have to start. So you have to really sit with yourself and think, okay, how can I break down this habit I should be doing just to its smallest common denominator? And how do I get started today? All right. And so that's like the first part in terms of, I want to make sure I explain that of it's a minimal action. Now, the second part of it, where it's talking about increasing levels of personal being, this is super important because we don't want to get caught in the consistency trap. You don't want to just get caught in a loop of just doing something, right? You don't want to do stuff just to do it, because again, when it comes to accomplishing your dream and really making it happen, you really want to make sure that you are working smart, not just working hard. When you're working hard, you're just going to be consistent and just doing a thing. When you're working smart, you're going to be doing things that are allowing you to be more efficient, allowing you to be more effective, which will ultimately lead to positive results in your life. All right. And the same thing goes true with these small, powerful habits. You want to make sure that the habit is resulting in an increased level of your being. And for those of you guys that are familiar with this podcast, this isn't your first time, you know that I talk about the principle of be, do, have. And for those of you that are new, the principle of be, do, have essentially talks about how in order for you to do the things that you want to do, in order for you to have the things that you want to have, you're going to need to start with your being. Okay. And so often there are people that focus on the doing and what they're doing and how they need to do new things and do more things and everything like that so they can have these different things, but they never focus on their level of being. All right. They never focus on their level of being. And I'm going to get into in a second kind of the 4 ways in which, improving your small, powerful habits, and the 4 ways in which, your small, powerful habits will improve your level of being. But you need to focus on your level of being so that way you can do what you need to do so you can have all that you need to have. All right. And so the first way in which small, powerful habits increase your level of being is that it builds self-confidence. It builds self-confidence. And the reason in which small, powerful habits increase your levels of self-confidence is because you're showing up for yourself. You're showing up for yourself in a way that you might not have thought you would have been able to before. And this is another reason why the minimal actions are so, so important. Because if you try to take on more than what you can chew, so to speak, right, as opposed to breaking it down, you are basically going to be setting yourself up to let yourself down, which will not lead to confidence building. Right? Because you're going to need confidence. You need confidence in your ability to show up for yourself when you think about accomplishing your goals. And when you condition yourself with these small, powerful habits to do something that's uncomfortable to you, do something that's new to you, and you're able to do it consistently, and you find yourself even enjoying it, and you find yourself even wanting more of it, you're going to find that your self-confidence is going to grow, which not only will your self-confidence show itself in whatever area of the new small powerful habit that you have, it's really going to show itself in all areas of your life, because again, it's you showing up for you. It's you showing up for yourself at a level of being rather than just a level of doing. All right. And the second way in which your small powerful habits build your level of being is that it builds belief. It builds belief. And the reason why it builds belief is because when you decide to be consistent in these small, powerful habits and you're increasing your level of self-confidence, you're going to start seeing results. And those results are going to start they're going to be addicting, because you're going to start saying, I started going to the gym once a week, and now, I saw this progress. I'm losing this much weight, or I'm feeling this much better. Like, what happens if I go 2 times a week? Oh man, like I went 2 times a week and I'm able to do this. I'm able to do this exercise. I wasn't able to do it before. Okay, let's go to 3. Let's go to 4. Let's go to 5. So on and so forth. Let me challenge myself more in the workout, whatever the case may be. And I'm using, the gym as an example, but apply it to, your own life and whatever area that fits you, that works for you. But again, it builds your belief, because now you're going to start seeing that, okay, if I break these habits down to a smallest common denominator, I'm going to see results. And for a lot of us, when you start seeing results, you're going to start believing in your ability to make it happen. You're going to start believing in your dream more, that you're going to be able to make it happen, because again, you're conditioning yourself to do the hard things. You're conditioning yourself to do the things that others might not want to do, but you're doing it, and which will result in you having things that others don't have. All right. Now, the third thing that small, powerful habits do is that they eliminate fear. They eliminate fear. And this is important because, so often, most of the times, the reason why a lot of people don't start these types of habits is because of fear. They allow fear to hold them back because they might not believe that it'll work. They might not believe that they'll be able to do it. Whatever their limiting belief may be when it comes to starting a small, powerful habit, that when you actually just get started and you make the decision, and you make the one decision that you're going to do it, you're going to show up for yourself, that's when you're going to eliminate fear. Because you'll realize that the same things that you used to worry about when it comes to starting that habit, right before you actually start it, they're not real. The same concerns or whatever the case may be, right? The same obstacle that was in your way that was hindering you and making you hesitant towards starting that small, powerful habit isn't real. And even if it is real, you've pushed through it because you've decided to show up for yourself. And that's the power of a small habit. You're going to eliminate that fear. And that elimination of fear, again, is going to bleed into other areas of your life. But it results from you making one decision to show up for yourself and have these small, powerful habits. And then ultimately, which is the entire purpose of small, powerful habits, the benefit, which will increase your level of being, it's going to increase, it's going to improve, it's going to heighten and basically improve your decision making. You're going to make great decisions when you implement these types of small, powerful habits. And these are going to be monumental for you because, again, at the end of the day, all of our goals, in order to make them happen, it all boils down to our decision making. And these small, powerful habits will put you in a great mental space. They'll put you in a great physical space. They'll put you in a great emotional space for you to make the right decisions for your dream. And you need to remain consistent because that is what your dream is going to require. It's going to require you to be consistent. It's going to require you to be upbeat. It's going to require you to be the best version of yourself. And your small, powerful habits allow you to not only be the best version of yourself, your small, powerful habits will allow you to stay the best version of yourself. All right. And so those are the 4 benefits. Those are the 4 things that will result from you installing these small, powerful habits. And now I'm going to tell you guys about 2 powerful habits that I have implemented in my life that has truly transformed everything for me. And the first thing was a morning routine. Morning routine was the beginning of small, powerful habits for me because, at one point for me, I was like, I'm too busy. I'm running around. I got this to do. I got that to do. I got to manage this, manage that, talk to this person, talk to that person, where it was as soon as I woke up, I was just boom, out of the door and we got to go. Right. And that portion of my life, it was hectic. I'm just like running on a hamster wheel or just, it's more of like life was happening to me rather than me making life happen. And it was a mess. I was just all over the place. But when I decided, okay, I need to build a morning routine, when I decided to go seek knowledge of, okay, well, how do I improve my life? How do I change my life? How do I find how to my biggest goals? I saw that a morning routine was monumental to that. And so what I started with was just, okay, I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to pray. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with me, I'm a man of God, really. So prayer has always been a part of my life, but it was always kind of just whenever I can get it in, one of those quick prayers on the ride to work type of thing. But I decided to really discipline myself to say, okay, smallest common denominator of praying in the morning, I'm just going to wake up and I'm going to at least give God 5 to 10 minutes of prayer, just focused prayer time. And me even doing that, right? Now, my morning routine has grown since then, and I'll tell you guys about it in a second. But even in me just basically disciplining myself and challenging myself to sit down and pray for 5 to 10 minutes and just practice that mindfulness and just hearing God, really resulted in just my day-to-day being more peaceful. I wasn't really thrown off by much, as a result of that. All of that was just from, again, breaking it down to a small common denominator of that mindfulness, of that prayer piece. And since then, I've seen a lot of changes. My decision making was better. My self-confidence was up. My belief in everything that I'm doing, the belief in the goals that God has put in my heart has really grown. My faith has grown. My fear was eliminated just from me deciding to wake up and spend 5 to 10 minutes with God praying. right? And since then it's grown. I now work out as well. Like I have a small 5 to 10 minute workout routine. I have some other things that I do. But I'm actually going to share this with you guys. There are actually four. There are four main components of a morning routine. And again, I'm not saying you have to start here with all four, because I certainly didn't. But maybe you can implement one and then grow it from there. But the four components of a perfect morning routine that I have found for me, this works for me, and it works for other people as well in terms of people that I teach. But the first thing is mindfulness. You do need a portion of your morning routine that is where you're able to kind of just be present for yourself. For me, this is my prayer time. I know that other people may meditate, whatever the case may be, but some form of mindfulness. The second portion is some sort of shocking stimulant, which basically is waking up your nervous system, getting your body ready for the day on just your physiology level, on a physiological level. I hope I said that right. But some sort of, whether it's, taking a cold shower in the morning, turning a light on. For me, I have my lights automated. So like I have them scheduled to wake me up. So like, just I wake up to brightness, which really just shocks my system to get me ready for the day. Again, wake up the body, wake up the neural paths in your body. Thirdly, a physical workout. Don't allow us to sound bigger than what it actually is. I'm not saying you have to have like some, tough 1 hour workout in the morning. Work out when you want. I like working out in the morning, but for me, I have like a 5 to 10 minute little routine, I guess you could call it, that I do in the morning just to kind of get my body physically active, to kind of get my joints moving, my muscles kind of a little activated in the morning. And it just allows me to feel good. So it's not necessarily a strengthening type of workout or anything like that, but it's a workout that just allows my body physically, the muscles in my body to feel good. And energy wise, I feel great since I really started doing that. And then lastly, affirmations. You need to have power statements. You need to have the type of power statements that really get you ready to take on the day, whatever may come, to know that you're able to handle it, that you're going to do what's necessary in today to make your dream a reality. And so you do those four things. That's like the complete perfect morning workout. So think about that in terms of how you want to apply it. Again, make sure you don't do too much for yourself. Make sure that you basically bite size. So if you only have to start with one thing, I would say start with mindfulness, and then grow from there. But a morning routine is so essential, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in position to make good decisions. And a morning routine just helps you kind of get centered on that. So I would suggest, in my opinion, it's worked for me and it's worked for others as well, to create a morning routine, but make sure that you start it off in a small, powerful habit type of way. Break it down to its smallest common denominator of just something that you can do so you can grow into it. All right. And the second small, powerful habit for me that has really helped a lot, and I've been doing it now for maybe about 5 to 6 months, and I've really noticed a change. I've really noticed an improvement, is monthly personal meetings. All right, monthly personal meetings, and they're not necessarily mindfulness, but it's just like a personal check-in for me every single month. So for me, I kind of celebrate. I love sushi, so I'll go to a good sushi spot. I'll sit down, I'll bring my laptop, and usually this is just a personal meeting where I'm able to kind of meet and just kind of assess. Okay, how did the month go? Did I do all that I said I was going to do? This is a time where I sit down and look at my budgets for all my different companies and just everything like that. But it's a personal check-in where it's like, okay, I'm going to be intentional with slowing down. I'm going to do something that is really disrupts my schedule, because I don't necessarily eat out that much. But there is a level of self-gratification that I do get when it's like, okay, I'm able to go enjoy one of my favorite meals, at a nice spot, and I'm able to just sit down and think and just figure out, okay, how am I doing? I'm able to almost really give a great self-assessment of myself with these personal meetings. And it's something I do monthly. I know that there are people that probably might do this weekly. There's some people that might even do this every single day. Personally, I think that's too much for me. And I think monthly is like the perfect rhythm for those types of personal meetings. But having those personal meetings truly has been helpful for me. And I think that if you want to implement that in your own life, I think it'd be helpful for you too, because it's something simple. It's something, it's something powerful where you're just able to just be intentional with, okay, at such in this time frame, at this rhythm, at this beat, I'm going to meet with myself and assess, okay, how could I have been better? What did I not do that well with? And at the same time, you almost celebrate yourself by, for me, again, you don't necessarily have to go to a restaurant, but if you like eating out, go to your favorite restaurant and just go there every month and get a good meal, right? But those are the two habits that truly have allowed me and put me in position for success. And they continue to, again, like my personal meetings are a time for me to not only reflect on myself personally, I'm able to look at budgets, check margins, all that fun businessy type of stuff. But from me implementing these things in my life, my self-confidence, my belief, fear is gone just because I'm actually just committing and showing up to myself, which has ultimately led to my decision making improving. So I hope that you guys got something from this episode. Leave me a comment if you are going to try to implement any of those things in your morning routine, or if you're going to start having personal meetings, or just comment just to let me know what you think of the episode. I really appreciate it. Again, if you're somebody that you may feel stuck, or you feel like you are in the way of yourself when it comes to your goals, and you want to get out of your own way and you want to find your how to your biggest goals, this is the place for you. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like this episode. Share this episode to other people that you know that are looking for their how to their biggest goals. I really appreciate you guys for checking out this episode. Super, super thankful. And I'll see you guys next week. All right. Go dominate the day, because always remember, your dream is possible as long as you are willing to work for it. I'll see you guys next week.